Okay, hello YouTube, welcome back to another deck profile. Today we will be looking at the newly released, I want to say, Evil Twins. They are, I don't know if they're even out in the US yet as time of recording this. They've been out in the UK for about, I think it's a week, 2 weeks. But yeah, so I really enjoy the theme. I think the theme's really cool. I like the way it plays. And I've been messing around with a few different variants, which you'll probably see over the coming days. First variant I want to show off is probably my favourite, and I think the best way to play it at the moment, as of what I have seen, and from the results of my own personal testing. And that is to play the deck with the Unchained cards. So yeah, let's jump straight on into the deck. Like I said, I really enjoy the deck. I think it's really cool. Obviously, you are going to be starting off with 3 copies of Live Twin Kill and 3 copies of Live Twin Leela. These are your starters for the Live Twin combo. Both do the same thing, which is when they are normal or special summoned, while you control no other monsters, you can summon the other twin out from your hand or deck. So basically, you want to see one of these in your opening hand. These are your normal summons in this deck. You primarily use the Unchained as your special summons, and you don't want to lock yourself into the Evil Twins, which is why you don't play the quick play spell Live Twin Home, or at least not in my variant of this list. But yeah, they are really powerful normal summons for the deck. For the other twins that we're playing, the Unchained twins, we're playing 3 copies of Aruha, 2 copies of Rakea, and 2 copies of Sarama. The reason I'm playing this ratio is because Aruha is your starter. Aruha is the best one to see because it blows up a trap, it gets you so much advantage. Rakea and Sarama are basically extenders. They are the stepping stones to get access to your combo. Rakea blows up another Unchained card to trigger their floating effect, and Sarama will get you a trap card set by setting it out from the grave and then blowing up one of your other twins. So I'm happy with the 3-2-2 ratio. I think the 3-2-2 ratio is correct because you want to max out on the ones you're playing, and then you can't really only play one because you will run out of resources very quick this deck with all of the floating whenever they get destroyed. Level 8, we're playing 2 Abominable Unchained Soul, 1 Unchained Soul of Disaster. Disaster essentially exists as your going second board clearance, and then Abominable Unchained Soul serves as kind of a pseudo hand trap. Both of them aren't great, but you do need them to get access to the links. And Disaster also combos very well with Sarama, because you can use the Sarama, set an Unchained Soul Disaster, pop the Unchained Soul Disaster, and then summon something else from your graveyard. So it does have a purpose. It's just, I feel Soul is significantly better because it summons itself out on the opponent's turn. It's big, it's 3000 attack, and the destruction effect is non-targeting. Hand trap wise, we're playing 3 Ash, 2 Ogre, and 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. 8 hand traps plus the 2 Abominable Unchained Souls, if you want to count them as a hand trap, makes 10. These are just the best hand traps for this deck. Ash hits every good deck at the moment. Imperm hits a lot of the good decks at the moment, especially with the new ban list. And Ogre is a personal choice because A, it's really good in Virtual World because you can hit the Chooch, and also it's kind of an extender in this deck because you can blow up an Unchained. You can use Sarama's effect to set a card, pop another card you control, and also blow up the Sarama to get an extra float. So, yeah, I really like Ghost Ogre in this deck. I think it's definitely worth playing if you have the access to it. Then we're playing 3 copies of Abomination's Prison. This is the Rota for the Unchained. It's not in itself an Unchained card, which is kind of unfortunate because it means you can't reset it off of the Sarama, but you do have ways to recur this card. It adds any Unchained card, not just the spells and traps, not just the monsters, any card, and then if when it is set it is destroyed by a card effect, you can special summon an Unchained from your deck. It's a use once per turn, so if it gets solemned you cannot then activate another copy, which is kind of upsetting, but you can use both of the effects on the same turn. 3 Desires for draw power, also playing 2 copies of Avarice. So the Desires is to draw into your twins, or your Unchains, basically whichever part of the combo you're missing, standard draw spell. The Avarice are because your twins blow each other up a lot. You fill up your graveyard incredibly fast in this deck. It's kind of like Zodiac, where you will always have 5 monsters. Unless you have really messed up, you should always have 5 monsters about halfway into your combo, making Avarice a nice little extender, and also leaves targets in the deck for you to summon off of your Unchained cards when they get destroyed. 2 copies of Triple Tactics Talent, 1 copy of Call By. I do not own 3 copies of Triple Tactics Talent, otherwise it would be 3 of this, none of this. You do get hurt by hand traps quite a bit, so any sort of extra way of counteracting hand traps, definitely very, very useful. The 1 Reborn, it's a free resource. And then for the Unchained traps, I'm playing 3 Chamber and 1 Escape. And the reason I'm playing 3 Chamber, 1 Escape is because Chamber gets you a really, really good combo if you draw into it with an Aruha and a Live Twin, which sounds unlikely, but with the amount of sort of draw and search power in the deck, it does happen a decently substantial number of times. And your end board is essentially Nightmare Griffin Lock with the Unchained Link 2 and Live Twin, Evil Twin Key Skill. So you have a pop, a skill drain, and a access to Unicorn or Unchained Abomination. And that's all off of Aruha plus this and any Live Twin. So this is definitely the stronger trap in this variant, because you like to get access to you like to link off the Link 2 and then bring it back on the opponent's turn. Escape is kind of just here as a 4th target. I find 4 targets is a lot better for actually getting access to something you can blow up and then abuse with Sarama. And then the destruction is, yeah, it does occasionally come up and can be useful in certain situations. But that's basically it for the main deck. It's quite a simple main deck with the way it's structured. Basically, you want to stall your opponent out with hand traps and then hit them hard and hit them fast, or set up a pretty oppressive board going first. So moving on to the extra deck for this list, we are playing not anything too surprising here. We're playing 3 copies of Evil Twin Kill, 3 copies of Evil Twin Leela. I like playing 3 of each because I find myself looping through both of these once per turn at least, kind of thing. Sometimes even making your Kill Leela combo and then linking the 2 off to make another copy of the Kill, just so you have the access to the pop. So I definitely think 3 is necessary. If you're going to cut any of these, you would play sort of a 3-to-2 ratio. But I think it's just safer to play 3, especially with, at my locals, we have a Dogmatica player running around, and these do occasionally just serve as fodder for the Maximus. So, you know, pretty good Link 2s as well. Obviously, if you don't know what they do, they are summoned using the smaller version of themselves plus any other monster. And then if it is the only one you control, if you don't control the other, so if you control a Kill but no Leela, or a Leela and no Kill, you can use their effect to summon the other one from the graveyard. And then when they are summoned from the grave, and you control the other twin, so you control both twins, Kill will let you draw a card, and Leela will let you target a card on the field to destroy. So they're a nice little interruption and resource engine. And obviously they're fiends, so they're not affected by the Unchained lockout effect. And then their effects also lock you into fiends, so your Unchained cards aren't affected by that either. You have a nice little bit of synergy there. For the Unchained links, I'm playing 2 of the Link 2, 1 of the Link 3, and the 1 Abomination. You make Rage a lot more, obviously. So you can, going second, you can actually summon Rage, and then link it away into a Anguish, and then use the Anguish to make a second copy of the Rage. So Rage definitely comes up more, especially when the game drags out into later board states. So I would definitely recommend playing 2 of this. Anguish kind of just comes out as a stepping stone, and then Abomination is normally coming out when you are winning the game. So they're both only really needed as one-offs. If you don't know what they do, Rage lets you target an opponent's special summon monster on their turn and link summon a Dark Link using it. Anguish lets you use any opponent's monster, but it's not a quick effect. So it has to be on your turn, and again, summons a Dark Link monster. And then Abomination is your big blowing up card. So if a card on the field is destroyed by a card effect, destroy a card, target a card on the field and destroy it. When a monster is destroyed by battle, target a card on the field and destroy it. And then during the end phase, target a card on the field and destroy it. You can only use each of the effects of Abomination once per turn, but it does get you some crazy advantage when you start popping 3 cards per turn, for obvious reasons, although it doesn't trigger off of itself. So its effect in the end phase to destroy a card will not then trigger its effect when it destroys a card by, when a card is destroyed by card effect. It doesn't trigger itself. And then your 2 smaller dogs, when they are destroyed by battle or card effect, target a fiend in your grave and add it to your hand. Just as passing reference in case you didn't know as well, the Unchained Twins, when they are destroyed by battle or card effect, including your own card effects, do special summon another Unchained monster from the deck. Other links we're playing IP Masquerena, because you can end on this and then go into things like Unicorn. We're playing Ningirsu, the World Chalice Warrior, because it outs Dragoon. And then for our Nightmares, we're playing 1 Nightmare Unicorn, 1 Nightmare Griffin. I don't play Phoenix. So Unicorn is Shuffle Back, which is really, really powerful, and it's a Link 3, so it combos well with the Unchained Link 2, Unchained Soul of Rage. And then Griffin is basically your win condition because the lockout is incredible, and then you can also discard a card to draw a card and set a spell or trap from your graveyard. So Griffin is actually really, really insane in this deck, and I really do like what it's doing. When the Link 5 in Blazing Vortex comes out, obviously you'll be playing that. But for now, Griffin is definitely your main sort of control boss monster for the deck. The final link is just an Avramax, because sometimes you need something that's huge and your opponent can't beat over. So making this off of like IP Masquerena or the Evil Twins is really, really useful, and just hitting your opponent for 3k obviously hurts quite a bit. Side deck real quick, tailor this to your own locals. I'm playing 3 Dark Ruler, 3 Gamma, and the 1 Driver for combo decks when I'm going second. For Virtual World and Control decks, playing 3 Cosmic Cyclone, 1 Reboot. And then because I have an Invoke Dogmatica player, it was between playing Droll or No Material, and I think No Material hits slightly more decks. So this can stop your opponent from making Arc-This in like Virtual World, stops them making the VFD in Virtual World. Droll doesn't actually hit Virtual World as far as I'm aware too much. I think they only really search with the Lulu, so besides that, you're just kind of sending and summoning. So I like Gnome for that. Gnome hits Dogmatica because it hits the Alistair, so they can't make Secure Gardener. And it also hits Dragon Link if Dragon Link ends up being a problematic deck this format. And then, of course, the 1 copy of Dino Wrestler Pankratops, because it's just a free summon and a free destruction. But that's it for the side deck, the main deck, the extra deck. I think that just about wraps up really what this deck intends to do. I do think it's a really fun deck. It plays unlike anything we've had for quite a while. You know, it's that kind of, I'm going to blow up all my stuff and then profit off of it. It's a very risk and reward kind of deck. You do have to risk things, so blowing cards up with the hope that your Unchains will trigger. But when they do trigger, you get some incredible advantage and some incredible end boards that really do like limit and oppress the opponent in ways that are quite surprising, but also way different to your standard kind of VFD hand loop that we've kind of grown accustomed to over the past couple formats. So, you know, I really like this. I encourage you to try it out, and definitely let me know if you do try it out, how it's worked for you guys, any changes you would personally make. And yeah, I think that just about wraps it up. The one final thing I would like to add is definitely remember the best part about Abominable Unchained Soul is if it is destroyed during the end phase, it will summon itself back out, but only if it hasn't been summoned already that turn. Because you can only summon Abominable Unchained Souls once per turn. Do not cheat. I know whenever anyone cheats playing Unchained, because I love this deck to bits. But yeah, that just about wraps it up. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys try it out. And I hope you guys stick around for future deck profiles. Cheers.